Yeah. Ready. Ready to lock in? Let's go. Interesting day. How art thou? How art thou, all of you?
Wow, your hair looks better than mine.
Who's?
Let me fix my hair. Oh,
Let's go.
God.
All right. Hello and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. Today is June the 3rd, which is Friday, 2022. It seems like just yesterday.
Friday? Wow, it seems like a Saturday.
Yeah, it seems like just yesterday it was the 1st of January. Or my 20-year-old was once 9 years old. Time flies. Time flies.
Yeah.
All right. We are going to start today's show as usual with a couple of shout outs. Number one, shout out to Sanja Sankovic, who sent me a message right after the Zverev injury today. We were on court teaching. And at the same time, we were listening to Cam Williams's play-by-play. And that's when we first heard, oh, no, Zverev got injured, and we'll talk about that. But he sent a message right off. And I think he said something along the lines of, did we predict the injury based upon the thumbnail or something? No. To answer that question, no. There was a picture that I was just searching on Google for a picture of Zverev to make the thumbnail with, and I just saw that one.
You jinxed him.
That was just sheer coincidence.
Jinxed him.
For sure.
You jinxed him.
Anyway, so also a shout out as well to my dad. And my dad works with our three youngest kids today, our three youngest children. And he's 84 years young, by the way, and is he's a retired flight surgeon in the Navy. Anyway, he's also a longtime tennis player and coach at 84 years young. So we always tell people to create something for the wall. And we'll put it up there. So I'm guessing because he gave this to us, it was probably for the wall, right? Because he watches the show. So you see Justine Henin up here behind me, right? The nice setup, the left elbow elevated, one-handed backhand. You see your elbow nice and elevated. So I have a couple other copies because, of course, he makes more than one copy. So I'll show you the picture, and this is Justine. I got a chance to meet her and hit with her nutritionist and trainer at the 2007 U.S. Open, in which, if I remember correctly, she beat Svetlana Kuznetsova in the final. Anyway, so on the front, there's a picture of Justine Henin, okay, Henin-esque. And he wrote something here and typed it. It says, Justine Henin, wonderful sportswoman and athlete, multiple Grand Slam winner. From the archives of 5K today. Have fun, stay well, be better. Now, the funny thing here is it's not what he wrote. It's my daughter, Gabriella. Gabriella, where are you? I'm going to pull one of my 5 kids, hence the name 5K. I'm going to bring one of my daughters in here. Come here, Gabby. And so she read this. She pulled this out of a little file, and she read this. Gabby, can you read this? This is Gabby. So say, Gabby, say hello. The camera's up there. Okay, like way up there. Okay, so Gabby's going to read you what my dad wrote here. Okay, ready? Listen carefully. All right, read it, be presentable.
Justine Henin, wonderful sportsman and athlete, multiple Grand Slam winner. From the archives of 5K today, have fun, stay well, be better. Now, she did it right that time, but sometimes when you have kids, little things happen that make you realize why you like kids. They frustrate you sometimes. Not really, but really. But anyway, but she was reading it for the first time, and she read it like archives was archives. Didn't you say that? She was like from the 5K archives. Thought it was really funny. But anyway, thank you for reading. Okay. Okay, well, we'll let her read the other one. So on the back side of this, on the same thing. So you got Justine Henin here, and on the flip side, you have Roger Federer. Now, this is laminated stuff. This is hurricane proof because we live in Dolphin Island. There's a lot of hurricanes here, right? Okay, so here's Roger Federer setting up with that nice little flat kind of semi-sliced backhand here with the left hand, happy fingers here, nice fluid fingers here. So she's going to read this one. Okay, yeah, you ready to read that one? All right, here we go. You read this one. Roger Federer, wonderful sportsman and athlete, multiple Grand Slam winner. From the archives of 5K today, have fun, stay well, be better.
There you go. All right, so Gabby, that was 2, and I have 2 more, and then she'll.
I think that Djokovic fans are gonna hate you now.
That's all right. So there's another one. So she'll read these, and then we'll thank Gabby and give her a thumbs up for being brave.
So Gabby, we have another one, and on the front, there's a picture of a young girl. She's kind of pontificating. She's kind of thinking. And then there's a little segment written here on this one as well. So we'll show them the picture. Okay, there's your picture. Okay. If you get tired, learn to rest, not to quit. Okay, now read that segment. All right, here we go. From the archives.
This is a little girl. It could just as well be a little boy or a grown woman or a grown man, because everyone needs rest and sleep, no matter who or what. Why not make good rest and sleep a priority? Now and always. From the archives,
You look tired with one eye. Like,
the archives, 5K today.
There you go.
Have fun, stay well, be better.
All right. Thank you, Gabby.
Wait, wait.
Oh, you got another one. That's right. It's got an opposite side to it. Okay, what's the opposite side say? Okay, so I'll show you the picture of this side. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. Okay, and then there's another little segment right here. All right, so read that one. You got it? We got a duplicate copy. Okay, here we go.
Yes, for sure, be kind. There's plenty of heartache in the world already.
Heartache. She said heartache. Heartache.
Heartache.
It's kind of like, what was the word you had trouble with? You had trouble with archives. It's the same thing. Heartache and archives. Same thing. Kind of like school of us.
Yes, for sure, be kind. There's plenty of heartache
Heartache.
in the world already. No need for more. And while you're at it, be kind to yourself. Eat good exercise, rest and sleep. Be thoughtful and food about foods, beverages, and whatever stuff get applied to scalp, face, and skin. A lot of these get absorbed and a lot of skin stuff, no matter how advertised or endorsed, is toxic and
Carcinogens.
carcinogen. Are you sure? Carcinogen?
Yeah, it's okay. Gabby, thank you very much. I love you. Give me a hug. All right. So here's the end of the segment. Thank you, Gabby. We love you. Okay. It says, and I'll end it at this. Yes, for sure, be kind. There's plenty of heartache in the world already. No need for more. And while you're at it, be kind to yourself. Get good exercise, rest, and sleep. Be thoughtful about foods, beverages, and whatever stuff gets applied to your scalp, your face, and skin. A lot of these things that get absorbed and a lot of skin stuff, no matter how advertised or endorsed, is toxic or carcinogenic. Caveat emptor. As Dr. Edwin S. Prudhoe famously said, don't eat junk, drink slop, or breathe crap. Fair enough?
mm-hmm.
Great job. We put Justine Hennon on the board. We'll get the maestro. We'll get Roger Federer up there. Uno momento, por favor. Let's go. Andale, vamos. Whoa. And we're going to start it now. All right. You ready? Well,
Zverev. Lord.
yeah. Let's get.
God have mercy.
Yeah, let's get right to that. Let's get into the Zverev Nadal match.
Lord have mercy.
Carla, go.
Look at that foot. Look at that. I mean, damn.
It's rough.
Like B-Dog said. But first of all, he's not even sliding right. If you look at the way he's sliding.
It's rough.
Totally bad.
Yep. Been there. It sucks.
Ouch.
It sucks bad.
I don't think it would have changed anything. I mean, I watched the match. Zverev has so many chances, right?
That was
many.
That was.
I think I wrote down my paper. Zverev really needs to learn how to volley.
It was an intense first two
So
sets.
many chances. I feel like had Djokovic had a second chance, he would have taken advantage of that second chance. I mean, you had 6-2 serving for the first set. And you still managed to lose a set by missing a volley. And then just missing a lot of shots. Yeah, no. And then back to 6-6 when you were up a break. Not good. He wasn't going to win. But you hate to see anyone get injured like that. And he was really moaning and crying. So you know he was in pain.
Oh, he was in pain.
Absolute pain. Oof, can't imagine. No, I've never done anything to my ankle, so I have no clue.
Blowing the ankle out like that is brutal. It's rough. Before we even get into the match, yesterday we talked about and hear me out on this one. Before we even talked about anything yesterday, we were talking about assholes. Having negative energy and sometimes bad things happen. I'm so
absolutely incredibly sorry that he blew out his ankle. Been there, done that. Carla, in my racket bag or our racket bag, do I not have 3 different sizes and 3 different color ankle braces with laces and straps to keep my ankle from doing that? Okay. My dad is my witness. He'll watch this. He has taken me to the emergency room off a clay court, and actually it was at Mirror Lake. That's coincidental because we run the tennis side of that club currently. And the last time I blew out my ankle majorly was on the Mirror Lake clay courts. Yeah. Slid the wrong way and my ankle buckled.
I've never done that.
Yeah.
I've never done that to my ankles. Never even come close. First of all, from looking at the picture, I feel like he didn't even know how to move on the clay. To me, that's what it looked like. Like he has no idea how to slide yet, or he shouldn't have, because isn't he German?
Who?
Zverev?
Oh yeah,
which means he played on clay before.
But Russian
my hair's a mess, and it's called coaching, and yeah, I don't even know how to put it.
By the way, I have to read this comment. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, Carla. You always look great. She has the fish shirt on with the tennis tour. They're playing in Charleston, and they're having this tennis theme because the keyboardist plays tennis now and helps do charities through tennis. Anyway,
Ruud is not next gen.
William Spencer says this. William Spencer said, "Guaranteed things in life: death, taxes," and he added something because hence that's an old quote. And the next gen somehow finding new ways to lose to the goats. It's odd or coincidental because my dad says that all the time. My dad always says there's 2 things for certain: death and taxes.
He wasn't going to win that match, guys. I mean, you blow the first 4 match points you had, and then you had a break.
Set points,
I'm sorry. And then you had a break in the second, and Rafa, even playing as shitty as he was, still managed to figure it out. I didn't feel like Rafa was playing like Rafa. I mean, yeah, at tiebreaker, he was playing like Rafa, but before that, he was not. I mean, it was so many breaks, right? There were so many breaks going on. That's not good in men's tennis. Yeah, no, I didn't think he was going to win, but to see him get hurt like that, well, you know, first he hit his hand. He was mad, right? He hit his hand on the racket and he hurt himself. I always say when you're an asshole, eventually things end up catching up with you. When you get angry, karma's a bitch. I tell my husband, why do you get mad? You're going to pay the price for it sooner or later. I've seen it happen a million times to you.
It happens, right?
It happens to everyone that gets mad. That's why I don't get mad that way, because
it always happens.
I never get mad that way. I'm the type of person that I get mad for like a split second and I'm done. I don't get mad. That's me. That's my personality. But some people, they just keep going, and Zverev kept going, and eventually something bad happened.
A freak slide. I'm going to tell you, and I don't wish to bore you with this, but let me tell you a couple of significant injuries I've had in the past, 3 years, that have involved, pretty major surgeries. One of them, I had to learn to walk again, right? And 2 of them were on the tennis court. So anyway, I was playing Carla, and Carla and I had a long day, and we went out to get some steam off of us on the courts. And by the way, I did a video of this entire surgical convalescence. If you go to another playlist on our channel, and it should say completely ruptured patellar tendon. I did like 30 videos every day in a row. Every single day I would do PT and freaking be all jacked up. It was a really messed up time. But anyway, I was playing Carla match. I wasn't too happy. I was frustrated. She was beating the brakes off of me.
And I told him, I'm like, why are you even out here?
Yeah.
Why are you even playing? I was like, you don't feel well, you're playing. And he was just being an a-hole.
Yeah, I got frustrated, and I threw my racket at one time against the fence, and it didn't even matter. It was just her and I. There was no one around. But Carla had a match point against me, or she had a match point, and I was about to lose. And so I'm a serve and volleyer, so I served the ball, and I came charging to the net, and she pitched it over my head. And I knew it was a good lob. I knew it was over, but just at the same time she struck the ball, 2 people walked down the hill. We were on Dolphin Island courts. 2 people were walking down the hill, so I was like, I'm going to show off here. I didn't think that, but that kicked in. I was like, yeah, let me show them how it's done. And so I leaped up, and Carla, I didn't see this because I passed out, but Carla said she hasn't seen me jump that high since I was in my 20s, right? So ultimately, I swung and missed, and I realized I'm 44 now. This happened just a couple years ago. I came down, and my leg hit the ground, and the surface was somewhat uneven, and my leg snapped in half. So my femur was here, and my tibia went that way. So it was a completely ruptured patellar tendon. So the tendon that holds the top of your femur to your patella, which is your kneecap,
to the tibia, which is your lower leg bone, was severed off. I looked down and I passed out. I saw it and passed out. But I was frustrated. I was angry, and something bad happened. The second thing broke my arm. Not too long after that. And by the way, when I ruptured that tendon that day, when I fell, I looked at it, I passed out like wall falling. I saw it, and I was like, ugh. So I hit the ground, and because I went limp, because I passed out, my arm snapped. So I snapped my right arm, right? So I came down with a jacked up leg and a completely snapped radius in my arm, right? And we drove, an hour to a hospital from here where we live.
I was so mad at him because I'm like, this is what happens.
Stupid,
this
man.
is what happens when
Stupid.
people get angry and they can't control their anger. It was bound to happen. Something.
It was whack, man.
Yeah.
So not too long after that, I mean, about a year later, I got convalescence. I was good to go, and I was underneath the house. I was working out. I mean, I like to try to stay in shape, and I was working out. Anyway, and I was frustrated, and I had like my house is on stilts because we live right on the water, right? If you watch the weather videos, you see sometimes I have water waist deep under my house. So anyway, I was under the house, and I was moving with heavy weight. My kids were freaking out, and so I was like, oh, and I whacked my arm right into a stilt, and then I broke my radius again. I snapped my arm in half again, and it was because I was angry. How does this morph into Zverev? Not really at all. It was a freak injury. He wasn't angry at that moment in time, but the body and mind are one. They're a unit. I think we can go back to Copernicus and Plato and Aristotle and Galileo, and we can get into philosophical tangents about body and mind or evolution versus creation, whatever. But there's nothing new about these thoughts. But the body and mind go together, right? They have to work as a whole. Right? It's kind of like when a guy gets married and they cheat on their wife, and you don't think that the physical harm that you just did to your family and to your moral obligation is not going to affect you somehow. You'll end up with cancer. It's just it always goes hand in hand. Now, what happened with Zverev early on in that match? Now, by the way, when this match transpired, big shout out to Cam Williams again. Once again, no correlation. He's a fine young man, as I feel. And we were on court. Carlo was teaching on one court to the left, and I was teaching on a court to the right. And the loudspeaker was going so the club could hear it. And we were listening to it play by play. And the first thing I heard Cam Williams say was like, oh, he just got a code violation for blah, 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 blah. For cursing or something. And I'm like, okay, it's like, damn, and so I'm like, okay, he's being a dick. He's being an asshole. And I think yesterday we talked about assholes on the show. We talked about how assholes, get bad karma and blah, 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 blah. If you missed that, check yesterday's out. And then the next thing I hear Cam say, respectively, is, hey, man, he punched his racket and he might have hurt his hand. So I'm thinking, okay, Zverev has already lost because of his sportsmanship. Okay, Cam calls a really good match. So we knew he had punched his racket. We knew he had gotten a code violation for cursing. And then the double faults came and that horrid second set. The second set was awful. It was a hideous second set from both players, honestly. Nadal hits some really good shots that'll make the highlight reel, like wicked cross-court winners, too good. But it wasn't really pretty, the second set. Do you agree or disagree? It wasn't a pretty second set. Wasn't there like 7 breaks of serve in the second set alone? Am I right or wrong there?
Yeah, it was not the best.
I mean,
it's not the best match. There's so many mistakes in that match.
Did not Zverev have like 3 double faults moving on in that second set when he was up 5-3 serving for the set? Didn't he have 3 double faults in the same game? So what I'm saying is his level wasn't high, and neither was Nadal's. But at the same point in time, in my opinion, I told Carlo while we were teaching, Zverev's being a dickhead. He's punching his racket. He got a code violation. Whether or not whatever he said in German or Russian, whatever language he was speaking, was something code violation-able. However, I told Carlo, he's setting himself up for injury. How would Carla understand what I'm saying there? Because she's seen me break my arm twice and blow out my knee over the same bullshit. And it didn't happen when he was pissed. I did it. But what happens when the body and mind aren't together? We do things, we're thinking too much, so the brain power is taking away ligament power. Our muscles don't perform as well because our mentality is soaking it up. We are prone for injury when we get a common cold, right? If we get a bad cold or a sore throat and have bronchitis, do you want to go out and necessarily play basketball? Chances are you might, blow your knee out, right? So mental energy saps everything. And because of his frustration, I do think it was correlated at least to some degree to blowing out his ankle. Now, I think the number one problem is Carla, yourself, has talked about for 4 years, or excuse me, 3 years or something like that on this show about Zverev being, or Zverev having the lack of what? Fitness, muscle structure, right?
Yeah.
He's a lean spaghetti machine, and that's good, but he plays a very active game, okay?
He's too skinny.
He's built like John Isner, but he runs around like Nadal. Now, I mean, look, it's not beneficial. He has the build of a serve bot, but he plays like a runner bot. Do you understand what I'm saying? And Carlos said this for 3 years. It's a matter of time before Zverev gets hurt. He needs to get in the gym or play less tennis. You said it 20 times, and here we are. But his sportsmanship, I do not think should be left out of the conversation about why it happened in the first place. Whether you call it karma or luck or coincidence or whatever it may be. He was negative and something negative happened. Is that a moral of life?
It is. Anytime you're negative, everything keeps going downhill, 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 downhill. Until you can get out of that negativity, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and Drip Tennis just said it perfectly. He said controlling his emotion takes energy if you're not used to it. Yeah. I mean, think about it. If you're stressed out, do you perform well at work that day? I don't. If I'm stressed out, Carla, what happens if I'm stressed out? And I don't say anything. I'm withdrawn. I don't want to deal with kids. I'm just like, leave me alone. And then I take it. And the problem with being stressed out in our job forte is that we at 9 a.m. We have to motivate. We have to motivate. Come on, you can do this. Blah, blah, blah. And sometimes, man, you're just like, oh. Now you handle that better than me. Carla can go to work frustrated and coach through it. But sometimes, man, I'm a different person.
I can't. I worked in the hotel business, which is one of the toughest to work in. You have people yelling at you. They're upset that the vacation got messed up. And one thing I learned from that job, that it didn't matter how bad it got, you would get through it. So I never got stressed out. I think that's why they always put me in the front, because I could deal with that. So in life, it's like I said yesterday, there's no way your life is worse than someone that lives in a third world country that has nothing to eat, no family, has been through shit and hell. No way. And that's how I think of my life. That's why I don't get angry. I can't. The only time I get angry is if someone fucks with my kids. You fuck with my kid, you're in trouble. But other than that, I'm chilled out. I get angry for a second, but I'm chilled out. I'm not like you. I'm not like Zverev, and I think I'm more like Nadal. You won't see my emotions too much.
But when it does, you gotta watch. You gotta be careful.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you gotta hit a button that.
Yeah, I've hit that button a couple times, and it's just I think now after all these years, it's rare if we argue, but if we do, I really have to remember, watch out. I need to turn around and walk the other way. What did George Carlin state about 2 theories of arguing with a woman? There's 2 theories of arguing with a woman, and neither one works. By the way, my little one, Luis, come here, man. Come on.
Yeah, if you tore a ligament, it would be 3 to 4 months. I mean, if you look at the picture, it's a pretty rough picture. The ankle is pretty rough. The way it bends, it's not a good way. Look at that on your face. Both of you got like pen marks on your face.
Man right here. Okay, so Justin, we're gonna ask you a couple questions. The camera's right there. This is our youngest of 5 children. This is Justin Jr. What's up, bro? Come on, don't be shy. You wanted to step up? I brought you up. Let's go. Okay.
You're very good. Come on, man. You got like that Latin look with the blonde look. Come on.
Yeah.
You should take advantage of that.
And by the way, he's a good little tennis player. He really is. He hits a one-handed backhand topspin and slice from the baseline with regular balls. We've never hit him a foamy ball. He uses the 25. He uses the junior 25 racket, which is for someone like 3 years his senior, and he wields it just fine. So let me ask you a question, buddy, and I'm going to ask you a serious question. See if you can answer a big boy question. You ready? Okay. How do you think your one-handed backhand is becoming? Do you think it's getting better? Yes? No?
Yeah.
Well, if you had to choose between hitting a forehand or a backhand, which one would you prefer? Forehand? Okay, here's another question. Do you think your serve is getting better? Yeah? Okay. Gabby, do you think his serve is getting better?
Yeah.
Do you think his backhand is getting better?
No, that doesn't work.
Honestly.
Stop. Not right now.
Kinda.
Yeah?
We got pen marks all over our faces.
All right. Last question, Justin, and back to the matches. So, Justin, last question. The new Jurassic World just came out. Okay. Right? He loves dinos. He loves dinos. So let me ask you a question. In all the Jurassic Park, Yenhao-Core's out
He
there.
sent me an email about where
Out-
he's from. By the way.
Out of all of your dinosaurs that take place in the whole entire Jurassic Park series, which is your favorite dino?
T-Rex.
T-Rex?
Someone asked who is his favorite player.
Who's your favorite player? Who's your favorite tennis player?
Like with girls or boys?
Either one.
Feathers.
Federer.
Oh,
Let's go.
These fans are gonna hate you.
Let's go. All right, buddy. Thank you very much. You're a superstar.
They're
Superstar.
gonna hate you.
Go. He's already a little soldier, though. He can play
And
for
shout
real.
out to my brother. It's his birthday today.
Oh, we got to do a birthday song.
Is-
Write it down. 25, 45. You ready?
I think he's 38 years old. Rafa's 36 today.
25.
See, we're both born in, well, I should say Federer has the privilege of being born on my day, August 8th. And Rafael Nadal has the privilege of being born on my brother's birthday, June 3rd.
That thing is good.
That's
whatever that
pretty
is.
amazing that both of us have those dates.
Indeed. Indeed. It's a very cool thing.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to clock it in at 26:15. All right. We always sing happy birthday. Let's go to your brother. All right. At 26:15.
I hate singing
3,
happy
2,
birthday.
1, go. Happy birthday to you. Come
I
on,
really
come on.
hate singing birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Let's go. Let's go. Happy birthday,
Birthday to the one-handed
Jonathan.
backhand.
One-handed backhand, Laura. So do I have, but happy birthday to you.
I hope I got
Let's
your
go.
age. Right, 1983. Would that make him 38 or 39? Can't add right now.
He's just a young man.
Yeah. He's right.
He's
He's Rafa.
a
He's
young
better
man.
than
He's a
Rafa.
young
Like I
man.
told him, I said his backhand's way better than Rafa's.
Yeah, he does have a smoking. He can rip that thing for sure.
That's old school to a child. Better.
Yeah.
Boy has
Oh,
taste.
by the way-
He William says it said, boy has taste, is still an abusive, better than Osaka. Yeah, he doesn't go, like, I call him my little mofo. I got a mofo, and he's my little mofo.
Where's Sub-Zero?
I don't know, somewhere.
William Spencer, by the way, won. He was one of the 2 winners for our fantasy team competition. He wanted a 5K hat. I have my daughter's pink one on. I just threw it on my head because I just got out of the shower. But he's getting a yellow one. We bagged it up, and we'll send it out
This week.
So I look forward to that.
Yeah.
What was something else that was leading to Zverev's lack of sportsmanship? And in my opinion, just my opinion, and opinions are always biased and assumptions are generally wrong. But what is one of the things that was leading to a massive amount of frustration for Zverev? Double faulting.
Missing volleys.
Double faulting.
And missing volleys. Like, how do you not
Yeah.
know how to volley?
So, hey, Gavin, can you guys show with that? Okay, so I have a good idea. We're gonna come up with a song for Zverev. It's gonna be called "Missing Volleys and Double Faulting." So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say double faulting. You're gonna say missing volleys, and then I'm gonna come back and say it again. All right, you ready? You're just gonna say missing volleys. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Double faulting.
Missing volleys.
Double faulting.
Missing volleys.
Double faulting.
Missing volleys.
Zverev, you need some help. Boom, boom. Double faulting.
Missing.
Double faulting.
Missing volleys.
Come on, Zverev. Let's go. All right, we did pretty good with that. We should release that.
Yeah.
All right, good job, Carla.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was leading to frustration. It led to his outbursts. It led to a disastrous service game when he was serving at 5
Anyhow, I got your email. I got your story. I got to give it to Justin. He hasn't read it yet.
Where's the story?
Very interesting story. Where he's from.
I can read it. If you have it, I'll read
Do
it.
you want him to read
I'll
it?
read it. It doesn't matter, man. It's like a crew, man. It's a crew. Let's go. Come on. There's no one that's here that's not like here every time. You know, it's up to him. But again, mind and body work together. And whether you try to separate yourself from body and mind, it never works because something ends up crashing. Okay. Here we go. And this is from Yin Hao, right? My movie guru. Yin Hao Kaur says, greetings, Justin and Carla. Just wanted to quickly answer your questions from earlier yesterday, that I didn't want to disclose in a WANNA. So he's got a nice vernacular here. I didn't want to disclose on YouTube during the stream. I might want to stop.
You know, say put a thumbs up if you want us to
Yeah,
keep
no,
going.
I know. I
Or
won't do
put a
that.
thumbs down if you don't want us to keep
Yeah,
going.
I didn't. That's the first time I came across that. Yeah, that's privacy. We're all about that. If you let us know, but we'd love you either way, a lot. Anyway, okay, so remember, when you get pissed off, when you get bent out of shape, do yourself a favor and stop. Just try to stop.
You're gonna take that advice, Justin?
I try, but
you're not very good at it. I'm gonna tell you about my husband. That is one. He said it's fine.
Okay.
That is one thing I don't like about Justin is that when he's angry, he fucks up the whole day. He never snaps out of it. It takes him forever to snap out. It's like, geez, really? Life is that short. We can like vanish in a second, and he keeps it going. And that's what happened to Zverev. Some tennis players, the reason why they're not champions is because they can't turn off that switch. It's like Djokovic gets mad, but he turns off the switch and channels it into a positive one, and therefore he comes out of it as a winner. Some players just can't.
Understandable. That's a great comment. You're absolutely right. They have a switch they can turn on and off. Medvedev does a good job at this. The crowd can just go off on Medvedev, and he can find a way to go with it and then to prevail on top of it. Superstars do this, with the exception of people like Nick Kyrgios or.
That's why he's a superstar.
You know, they just don't. They try to play the role and they try to play the buffoon role, but they can't get better. It takes away from the training.
I mean, we all feel bad for Zverev. You never want to see a human being
Agreed.
hurt that
Absolutely.
way. It could have been Nick Kyrgios. Nobody wants to see someone get hurt like that.
Absolutely.
It could have been the worst person.
Yeah. Definitely not. A sincere.
He was
hoping
crying.
He gets better quickly.
He was crying. If you listen to the video, I mean, he was crying. He almost sounded like a woman giving birth. He was in that much pain. I mean,
it was rough.
The way he was crying, I could just picture myself giving natural birth. I could tell it was painful.
You did that with Gabriella.
I did that with several kids, but yeah.
So
I did that with both of the girls.
And I'm guessing. I would think that Zverev will have probably multiple pictures that will come up on his Instagram or Facebook or whatever of his leg being completely black and blue.
I wonder what kind of I wonder how much damage he did to it. I don't know.
Look, and what happens when you sprain and don't break? Sometimes the physician will say, you probably would have came back from a break a little bit better. Why? Because you're prone to do it again.
Yeah. Good comment, William. He said not just physical either. When you have a nasty injury mentally, it's hard to fully trust a part of your body 100%, even when you're not recovered.
Well said. Exactly. Exactly. Well said. Okay, I'm gonna finish Yin Hao Kor's comment, and he's there in comments, and Yin Hao Kor, as well as most people that are in comments now, we kind of think of daily when we're kind of writing out what we're going to talk about. So it's good to see everyone is always here. And I think William Spencer is up really late or early in the morning because he's in the UK. And that's 6 hours ahead. And it's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's like 2 in the morning. So thank you, bro. We love you a lot. We'll send you the hat and I'll throw in a couple other things. If you play tennis, William, put in comments. If you're a tennis player, I'll throw in some sets of strings and I'll throw in some dampeners and I'll throw some overgrips. Just put it in comments. If not, don't worry about it because I don't want to just throw it away. Okay, back to Yin Hao Kor's comment. Greetings, Justin and Carla. Just wanted to quickly answer your question from earlier today/yesterday that I didn't wanna disclose on YouTube during the stream, in parentheses, if possible. Gave us permission now. So long story short, I was born in Malaysia and living in Ost, land of the Cam Williams. Yes. And
Australia.
Yeah, we look, no correlation, but Cam Williams, and given our lives that we lead, we coach sometimes 10, 12 hours a day from 8, 9 in the morning till sometimes 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. And there's no television in sight. Well, we do, but we can't go watch it because we're teaching. And sometimes we're nonstop with no break. But when matches like this are on, we're able to listen to them and then we're able to record them at home. So we come back home and we watch them and are able to fast forward through commercials. That's always good. But anyway, born in Malaysia of Chinese Malaysian heritage, which was one of 3 major groups in Malaysia. The other 2 being Indian Malaysians and indigenous Malaysians. So that's the short version of it. If you'd like to know more, you're always more than welcome. And yeah, I haven't seen Jurassic World 3. I haven't read this before his comment, and here we are. We just spoke about that. Same brainwave. Wawrinka. Use me. Let's go use me. Wawrinka. Okay. Same brainwave now, as always. And yeah, I haven't seen Jurassic World 3 as of now because it hasn't been released yet. That's I think it is now though. but it hasn't been released yet. But I'm super looking forward to it, and that's the most super anticipated blockbuster movie of this year for me. What about Top Gun Maverick? What about the second Top Gun? Okay, that I hear it's really good. I don't know, I haven't seen it. Ending, loving this time of the year for the jam-packed amount of tennis and your live streams that follow. Vamos, vamos. Last sentence. Much love to the both of you and the family, including the 2 super adorable dogs. My man, it's always great to hear from you. Great comment. We talk a lot. But yes, the door is always open, and thank you for the comment, right? Let's go.
We'll throw in those dampeners and grips in there.
No problem. I'll put them in. They're in the shop. They're at the shop. So remind me before we send it to the post office that we go to work and come back once, so I can throw some in the box because they're at the shop.
Sounds good.
Okay. One last kind of little bit on the Zverev Nadal match. Okay. If the injury didn't happen, was Zverev very much in the match, and was Zverev equally as much able to win the match at that point as Nadal did?
You blow a first set, you blow a break up in a break, you're up. Men's tennis, no. It was. I felt like this was gonna be Nadal's second set again in the tiebreak, and it was just gonna be worse on the third. No.
Do you think Zverev would have? I know we're sitting here talking about what if and what if. Who has time for that?
No, physically he couldn't match Nadal, and I don't feel like Nadal was playing well.
Yeah.
Hi Carla, this is Nomini. Hi Carla, Justin. I'm playing semifinals today at our local tennis club. I'm very excited. If you have time, please watch Gil Gross analysis regarding Nadal's match.
Cool. Who is it?
She had a white hat. She sent us a picture.
Who is that? Is that a tennis player?
Yes, Nomini. Remember?
No. Who is Gil? Gal?
That's a show. Gil Gross.
So like
you
what?
Can find that on YouTube.
Oh, a YouTube thing.
I think so. Yeah.
I haven't heard of that. I don't know.
John saying he's down one set, maybe 70-30 Nadal wins. So Nadal would have won that. Alex Friar said Coco and Pagula are in doubles final against Mladenovic and Garcia. Yeah, they beat Coco and Pagula beat Keys and Townsend today.
No, Nomini's a spunky gal, by the way. Didn't Nomini like a year or two ago?
She had a white hat and outfit.
But didn't I say something on one of the shows that like that might have been condescending, and she like sent us a message like, "Gee, God, take care of that girl or something. She's spunky." I think that was her. Right?
Yeah,
she's not scared. She's a beast. Girl power. Let's go. Look, Zverev, very, very, very sorry he was hurt. The same ankle rolling injury, been there, done that. Got the t-shirt, been to the ER, been carried off the court. It sucks. The ankle is going to be black and blue. It's going to be so bruised, it's going to turn green. If you've ever gnarled your ankle up and had the blender type slosh pit of fleshing, nasty ligament tearing, blistering injuries, it's going to be swollen and blue, and hopefully it doesn't need to be surgically intervened, because once you introduce metal into your body, meaning scalpel, orthopedic type of stitching robots, whatever you want to call it, sounded pretty cool. The body is not the same, so we don't want to get surgically involved unless we have to. We don't want to introduce metal to the body if at all preventable. So I'm thinking maybe 6 weeks, 2 months. He's back a little bit, starting to put weight on it and train at least at 100%. And guess what? Wimbledon is here. I seriously doubt he'll play Wimbledon. If so, it's a testament to his flexibility, which is an amazing trait of this man. Him. Okay. Djokovic. Let's not forget that this man, okay, should always be in the conversation, because I watched
that match again. Djokovic really seemed like he was deflated in that match. I looked at that. I watched a few points again. I said, man, where was Djokovic's energy? Where was the Djokovic we know that screams? It seems like it was just sucked out of him.
He was getting booed by all sections of the crowd. He had no positive energy. There was none.
Yeah, but he usually channels that into positive, and it seemed like he just couldn't snap out of it.
Yeah, I mean, he was like, in my opinion, definitely deflated. Hey, Danny too, chill. But I'll take one bet by one person. And by the way, Michael Walker's on, and I know I owe him. I know I owe you, because I bet, and I think I'm almost positive what I said.
Well,
what I said.
Did you say? Oh, Alcaraz.
What I said to Mike, and he took the bet. I said, let's make it $100 that Carlos Alcaraz would not make the second week, and he made the quarterfinal. That's the second week, Or did he make the fourth round? It was a quarterfinal, right?
Then he made a quarterfinal.
Then I lost a bet. I owe you $100. We have been paid by you that much for you losing a bet. Only fair.
Send me the app. I need to pay you.
Yeah, send me the cash out. Whatever, it'll come. You can do it right now while we're here. A brother only has his balls in his word, and damn right, you're gonna pay that whether you want it or not. It's coming. So deal with it, bro. Love you, but I'm paying you. You want it because I want to be able to take your bet again. You know, if you don't pay your bookie, he breaks your leg, but you can't break your leg over YouTube. So you just gotta stick with your word.
Someone asked if we watched the Chile game, Casper Ruud.
Some of it. Is it over yet?
Yeah. Woo! I think there was more action in the interview of Ruud about what Ruud said that happened in the locker room. He said it in his language.
He's like jaw or something.
He's like, I had pizza and I partied with my crew. I never said anything. He's a liar.
Dude, he told his mom to get out. Who are you going to believe? Casper Ruud, who's been under the radar type guy for his entire career?
I mean, I don't like his game, but he seems very chilled out. He doesn't seem like that type. That's my dinner for 2 nights. That's my.
Yeah, you got it. Definitely. You deserve it, bro.
Birthday.
You're always here.
Please send me the app.
Send it.
You got my email. 5K. 5K. You got my number.
5ktennis@mail.com.
You got my number. 251.
Yeah, or just text it to me. He has my phone number.
011. Just text me where you want me.
Oh, and by the way, Mike Walker. The kid you not. The next time Fish plays at Madison Square Garden, her and I are gonna fly up for like 2 nights. We'll stay subway walking distance to the Garden. So we'll fly up and we'll go to like Manhattan. We'll stay like we'll take this. We'll fly into LaGuardia. We'll take the subway to the hotel. We'll go from the hotel to MSG. And then go back, chill a day, get breakfast, get lunch, go back that night, then dip out. So we're gonna make a trip. We don't even need the car. Okay, you in? Seriously,
I know people in New York, so I don't.
I've never seen them in MSG. I want to go really bad.
I don't need a car in New York. I know a lot of people there.
We're gonna do that. Okay, lock into that because I would love to. We're gonna make that happen. Damn, that just took my whole mind off everything that sounded so fun. Blah. Okay. Real quickly, let's shift gears to Coco Gauff and Swiatek. Okay, I just want to shift gears to that for a moment. Now, why am I doing this? Did anyone hear that Amelie Mauresmo? Okay.
Yes, I talked about it yesterday.
Now, Carla, by the way, has been a pretty staunch Amelie Mauresmo fan. Now, let me explain a little bit more than just a staunch fan. Carla had an opportunity to win a tennis racket that she auctioned off.
I did win an auction.
She won the auction. She got the Mauresmo racket. She autographed the racket, and Carla played with this racket. It was a Dunlop, like 200 or something. I remember it. She played with it so long that you could see through the frame. Like the graphite was it was worn down through the braids. It was a hollow. You could see through it and then through the other side. So you could lift up the frame of her racket and you could see through it and she would still play with it. And I'd be like, Carla, I can't, the racket might implode if I string it again. Cause we string rackets. And I was like, shit, you know. Anyway, long story short, at one point in time, I pulled tension on the racket and it began to stress crack. And that was done.
Let's not believe that Nadal got it easy against Casper.
No, he doesn't.
I think that
You're right.
I think it'll be the same type of match as Zverev, in my opinion. I don't think it'll be better than Djokovic's match. Not that Djokovic's match was better. I think that the best match probably that he got at the French Open this year was against Felix. I don't think anyone will give him that match again.
So
Casper Ruud is gonna feel it. I think Wildlife said the problem with Casper Ruud is that he idolizes Nadal too much. That is his favorite player. That's good.
That's good psychology. Justin, chill, buddy. So, by the way, and all due respect, I'll remain humble. I'm really a humble guy. I'm very simple, but I must at least state one thing. Before this tournament started, who did I put in comments on our fantasy team video and our $500 cash giveaway video? Who did I project as my men's final and winner? I projected Nadal playing Ruud, Casper Ruud, and Nadal winning. And everyone laughed at me. You laughed at me. A lot of you laughed at me. I think Michael Walker laughed at me too. He took my $100, so he's laughing again. But didn't Michael Walker, didn't you laugh at me too? I think so, bro. I think you and Carla both laughed at me. And where's Ruud at right now? He's in the final. Called it last year. I was mentioning Casper Ruud's getting better on clay, and Carla was like, "Who? Casper the Ghost? Weren't you calling him Casper the Ghost or the Norwegian guy with no tan or something?" Weren't you dissing him like that?
He's not a bad looking dude, by the way.
Can I get a little
He's
bit of
actually
love for that?
He's actually not bad looking.
Can I get some? Can I get some?
I just don't enjoy watching him play. I think my dad does, but I just don't. I don't like watching him play. I find it boring. It's just boring to watch him. I think I prefer listening to Zverev go like a little girl. You know?
Yeah.
He squeals like a little girl every time he hits the ball.
Did you hear Zverev, by the way, with his grunt today as the match got deeper, like in the second set?
It was worse.
He was grunting like a heifer, about to get freaking milked by an ugly ass farmer. Wah! Wah! Freaking just grunting like a stuffed pig. Wah! Like a little baby pig, getting kicked in the ass or something. Wah! That's what Zverev got. So Zverev was double faulting. Zverev punched his racket. Zverev got a code violation. And Zverev again, unfortunately, got injured.
Good question. Alex says, who do you prefer to watch, Carla? Ruud or Iga? Ruud. Yeah, I think
Iga. I'm going Iga.
I prefer to watch Ruud.
I'm going Iga. Yeah. By the way, William Spencer.
Michael Walker said Casper looks like Justin Bieber.
Is Williams okay? William, this one's for you.
I don't want to. No, that's not the song. What is Justin Bieber sing?
Yeah,
that's a good song that Justin Bieber sings, but it's very catchy now.
I have to read this comment. William, sorry, it's really good. I had to read it. So William Spencer, who is one of our now major champions that won first place alone. No one tied him. He's GOAT for this tournament at this point. Watch out for Patrick, aka Casper, from Poland. That's won 3 of our fantasy team competitions. But he's won a major. William Spencer's in. He's got a trophy. Okay, now here's his comment just after the match today. Okay, here we go. Iga, meaning Swiatek, Iga's forehand is a shot of its generation, a generation of slow surfaces. I'd love to see how Iga could cope with flat hitters back 15, 20 years ago when courts actually had some pace in them. Iga's forehand is hugely effective on slow courts where she has time to set up and play with that extreme grip. Now remember extreme grip because he's going to make a metaphor here that will freaking...
I have an extreme grip.
Okay. Yeah, but not what he's fixing to say. I haven't heard this before, but I'm going to demonstrate his vernacular. It's really good. I've never heard this, kind of metaphor
which shows
before.
You can be a pro and don't have to have the best technique, and you can still be a pro.
Yeah, work your ass off, move your feet. Good things happen. Stay positive. Don't punch a racket and yell something to get code violation because that you might get hurt. Mm-hmm. Just saying, I called it and he got hurt. Just like I called Casper to be in the final. Everybody hated. Just saying, Raducanu who? Who the hell was Raducanu? Unsubscribed. I freaking been on Raducanu, lost 70 subscribers. Now what? Now what, huh? Whatever. Been there, done that. Okay. Her movement, back to Swiatek, her movement is average, especially out wide into the forehand side. She's often left having to squash shot the ball as she just can't play regular forehand with that grip. Again, he makes reference to the grip. Here comes the metaphor. I totally agree. I'd want to keep the balls deep and preferably as flat as possible. Yes, there's an old saying, deep and down the middle. Deep and down the middle. My dad says it all the time to my kids. Thanks, Dad, for working with our 3 youngest ones today. I mean a lot because otherwise they would have hit no balls. Gracias, amigo. Dad, padre. Okay. I totally agree. I'd want to keep the balls deep and preferably as flat as possible. I would also look to drag her in the short court, slices or drop shots, as that bacon and eggs. Let me repeat that. As that bacon, like breakfast, like you got served bacon for breakfast, as that bacon and eggs forehand grip makes it harder to get the ball up and down near the net. I had to think about it. I was like, bacon and eggs grip. And I was like, what? I cook bacon. I cook eggs. How am I holding the pot? So I held it here. I'm thinking full Western.
That's my grip, by the way, William Spencer. And I'll kick your ass with it.
Let's go.
That's my grip as well.
Bacon and eggs grip.
That's definitely my grip.
Man, I love that.
Yeah, that's my grip. And that's most of everyone's grip now.
No, not mine.
Okay, that's...
Not Kevin's out there.
I can hit a better forehand.
Okay, no, he's not done. He's not done. He's still dropping knowledge. So let's give the brother benefit of the doubt here. Let's still bring him to the podium here. Okay, bacon and eggs grip, love it. For a player who's likely about to take the record for most consecutive WTA Women's Tennis Association wins, it amazes me how incomplete and ugly her game still looks. You said this yesterday. many times before, same brainwave. Usually when a player is thrashing the tour like this, you would expect to struggle to find areas of weakness. With Iga, there are several that I can see. We've talked about this. Is she that good, or is it just a weak bunch of people around her?
I'm drinking my coffee. I want to hear this.
Okay. Last part of this. Comment, great comment. Comments, plural. Okay. Last paragraph. Less said about Ruud, the better. Less said about Ruud is better. So in other words, the less we talk about that bozo that kicked his mom off the court, the better. I agree. Why are we even talking about Ruud? Who? If you spell his name backwards, how do you pronounce that? Enur? R-U-N-A-E-N-U-R? Enur. That's his name. Forget Ruud. I don't even want to hear it because I'm going to think about him dissing his mom. So I'm going to call him Enur. So I actually want to talk about his game. Because if I hear Ruud, I'm like, I don't even want to see it. Kind of like Sabalenka because she grunts. When I just see Sabalenka, I can turn the volume down, but I still know she's grunting. Therefore, I can't watch it. It's like psychologically implanted in my head. It's like Pavlov's dogs. You know, they hear the bell and they think it's food, but ultimately it's not food anymore. Okay, anyway, less said about Ruud, the better. His match versus Ruud was the first I've ever watched a whole match of his. I never felt the need to watch him, as I guess I already knew what he'd be like already. A spoilt twat, love the vernacular here, twat, T-W-A-T, Tango, Whiskey, Alpha, Tango, twat. Yes, love that. He is a damn spoilt twat. And he even spelled spoilt, not spoiled, S-P-O-I-L-E-D. He spelled S-P-O-I-L-T, like spoilt. It's not like someone saying, man, you're spoiled. He's like, you spoiled. He's like, telling you, he's spoiled. Watch out. He's a spoiled little twat with a nothing special game. The match proved I was right, although he proved it even more than I had imagined. You should publish that. Amazing. Great comment. Hit it on the head. You can't even elaborate on that. It's so true. Right?
Yeah.
Spoiled little twat. All right, Raducanu who? Who's Raducanu who? With Wimbledon coming up, does Raducanu who do anything? Do you think Raducanu actually wins maybe a couple of rounds? I don't mean to deviate to Raducanu who, but do you think Raducanu wins a round or two?
No. Well, she will, because it's the Wimbledon crowd.
I don't think so. I think Raducanu who might be lucky to get out of the second who round. Maybe. Understand? All right. Amelie Mauresmo, we were talking about Carla at least having somewhat of a soft spot for her.
Sister the Queen has a great comment. You want to read it?
Let me read that one.
Sure, I'll read it.
All right, go ahead. Sister the Queen, love you.
It says, hi, Carla and Justin. Catching up on the shows. Crazy scenes today at the French. Zverev should have been up 2-0 and ended up choking the first set and being wheeled out before the second set tiebreak. All this in 3 hours. I couldn't believe it. Nadal is having some good fortune this year and being bailed out of matches he should be losing, but congrats to him. He is winning on his grit and determination more than anything else these days, in my opinion. On the ladies' side, I'm so glad that Coco made it through. I hope it will be a good final for her, win or lose. Also, I still like Tsitsipas, but he disappointed me at this tournament so much. He should be in that final, but he bottled it up. Interested to see how Casper Ruud performs in his first Slam final and first match against the King.
It's a great comment. She's poetic when she writes. I love reading her stuff.
Ruud is future #1. Hell no, Kensu.
It's not out of the question.
No, it is out of the question.
It's not. How many?
I'll take that bet.
I'll
take that bet that kid
can I ask one question?
Will never be #1.
How many players have become number 1 in the world because male or female because they dominate one surface? Because they win every clay tournament. How many? Is Nadal one of them? Isn't Nadal one of them?
No, he learned how. That kid will never be #1 because of how rude he was to his mom. He will never.
He said rude, not rude.
He said rude.
Oh no, man.
He will never mark my words, and I'll make that bet with you, Kensu. Never even come close to being #1.
I'll drop this bet.
And he's joking, obviously. Raducanu wins.
Oh, he's got a smiley face, man. He's got
never.
Yeah, look. There's a thing called karma that really is. Karma is a real thing. And again, I'm so apologetic. I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but I'm so apologetic to Zverev because I've blown out the ankle just as bad. I can promise you, and mine to the point of surgical intervention. But You don't want anybody to get angry, or to get injured. But when you get angry, the body, because again, the mind takes over some of the bodily functions, we tend to get injured. I thought my train of thought. Whatever. Go back to what you were saying.
We were talking about Ruud. He's not.
Oh yeah, because of the karma involved with dissing your mom. Sorry, babe. Because and you're my, you keep me on track. She's my freaking soldier, man. She's my baller. Let's go. But when you do something like that and kick your mom out, it's karma. The energetic fields of ions and electrons and isotopes that float around your head every day, whether it's oxygen or hydrogen or helium or carbon, whatever, they all interact with one another. And people think that because we don't see these things, we have dark energy and light energy, but it all kind of comes together. And because sometimes we don't think our thoughts have kinetic energy and motion and time, they really do. Ask Picasso, the One Starry Night thing, wasn't that Picasso that drew that? He's like, he's drawing the sun and he's like, man, everything's spinning in time. And it really is. We're all spinning through time. And what happens is you lose track of time and being positive and being kind to people in front of people, and it creates a negative energy. So people around you start to understand that you're feeling kind of negative, and then that might make them start to feel a little bit negative, and that creates a whole multifactorial stew of negative impacts energy. And what happens is someone gets injured, and it's generally the person that is the one that's acting like a buffoon in the first place. So what Plato said, who did a lot of philosophical reasoning long ago, Plato once said, be kind because everyone you meet is fighting a tough battle. Now, with that said, if Zverev, correct me if I'm wrong, if Zverev, and I'm even being nice, I'm not even calling him a Busarev or puppy hater or Lindo firing or linguine noodle, I'm calling him Zverev. Thank me. Sasha.
You already called him.
Okay. So with that said, Zverev, do you think that if he would have lost the first set gracefully, if you think that he didn't punch his racket, if you think he didn't go, what, and get a code violation, do you think the same injury would have happened?
Who knows? Kensu says, laugh out loud, Carmen's ever for beating his girlfriend and smacking the ref with his racket.
Thank you.
That's the first thing that came out of
Who said that?
Kensu. That's the first thing I told
Let's go, Kensu.
I told my life, I said, when he sent me the picture, I said, karma.
K-Sun, let's go. Exactly. There's karma.
Drem said, let's hope sponsors shy away from those type of players. Rude. William Spencer says, going to have a pleasant 10 years rooting against Ruud in matches. Although the way players' kids are often these days, the next generation might even be more immature. Yinghouse says, Justin, that means I must be guilty of negativity then.
Now, by the way, we were thinking about things that you can't see. I had this thought today. There was an ant. I had an ant. I was picking up twigs off the court, right? I was raking. I had this twig. And then I picked up the twig and I realized there was a big ant on it. It was like a big black ant. And I was like, man, it's pretty cool. The ant was upside down and he was just walking, or she just walking. And I looked at this thing and I'm thinking, I'm glad this wasn't my kid that picked it up, because he probably would have stepped, or she would have probably stepped on the ant. And I was like, man, this is a really cool ant. And I had my phone in my pocket and I was like, I wonder how old these ants live. And I looked up the amount of time that the average black ant lived. I didn't know why it couldn't be a white ant, but it was a black ant. But anyway, the average lifespan of a black garden ant was 4 years. I thought that was pretty impressive for a little ant, unless some big human just steps on it, which is really uncool. Karma involved just stepping on ants. Let the ants walk. But I furthered that search on, I didn't mean to, but I just stumbled upon the path, right? And found a mountain in the mist. And what we discovered was there was an article that had a microscopic camera. And the microscopic camera was put in this microscopic little ant-like organism. And it showed you from the camera's point of view how the ant is able to walk upside down on something as round as like a dowel, like a circular piece of glass, like walking down the pole, right? So the camera did a really good job of expanding everything into the threshold of the view of the ant's eye. So the ant looks at something in front of him and he doesn't realize it's upside down or gravity or not. It looks like to the ant, it's one flat plane. Whereas like if you step off a curb, you fall that way. But if the ant just crawls off the curb, the horizon is so big, he just kind of thinks he's still, and then gravity doesn't apply. So they don't have some Velcro thing like Spider-Man. It's just that the world is much smaller to them. Now check this out. Now check this out. Here's what I really thought was cool.
Comment Willie Spencer just said.
Look, here's the last thing, and I'll squash this because I know a lot of people don't have these dumb thoughts that I have, but I'm just a dumb human being. But I did look up, since I saw the ant live 4 years, I said, you know, that's interesting. What animal has the smallest lifespan? Take a guess. The mayfly. The mayfly lives a maximum of 24 hours. Now, Albert Einstein said everything is relative. Okay. Now, if you live inside that mayfly's brain, does that 24 hours that you live feel like 100 years to a human being? Is it relative to their size? Because you're smaller, does that 24 hours seem like 10,000 days of waking up and going to sleep? Or is it just like you wake up, you breathe again, and you're like, I'm dead anyway, so I'm going to go eat this mayfly, and that mayfly is going to eat me and just buck the world because I'm cursed. I'm having visions leaving here in a hearse. You know, come on, can you feel me? Come on, mayfly. How is it relative to the mayfly?
Well, it's just about 4 years. Poor thing don't even live enough to see if chilling ever stops bouncing the ball and hits it.
Exactly.
Oh, my dad said the reason Zaza went down is because Nadal took his legs. He was running a marathon.
Repeat that. Repeat your dad's comment. Repeat your dad's comment.
The reason Zaza went down is because Nadal took his legs off. He was
There you
running
go.
a marathon.
And Nathan, love you, my brother. He's my father-in-law, and more than that, he's a wonderful coach and an amazing tennis player, and like grandpa, right? A huge part of our family, right? Like integral. He said he took his legs. Now, Nathan, your dad, is a boxing fan. He's always watching boxing. Now, what are some of the main things that I teach students when we meet them? You know, you meet students that have never played, and you teach them forehands and backhands and volleys, and then you know what? You got to get into movement. And then you start moving them, and you find out whether they're actually fit enough to actually get it done, or whether or not you have to actually train them to get fit. And what reference do we always make, Carla? Boxing. I'll put them inside the service box. We have boxing gloves. We'll put boxing gloves on. We won't hit anybody, obviously. But there's a video on our random playlist. If you go to our channel, there's a bunch of different playlists. Look for random things. There's a video where Carla and I boxed. I think it's like a year or two ago, right? We're boxing, like boom, 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 boom. But the footwork is inherent. Now, what does a boxer try to do? Take their legs away from him. It's exactly what happened. Nadal put it to him. It was tight. It was intense. But because of his loss of sportsmanship, because of his too much energy expended, because of his double faulting, because of his being able to serve for the set and have 4 set points, and neither of them transpired, it took his mind, it took his body, it took his soul, and it took his legs. And where did he end up? On the ground. He got KO'd by Nadal. And I hate to say it, but if it wasn't for the lapse of sportsmanship and acting like a buffoon, I can guarantee you that would not have happened. Got me? Let's go.
Insoon says Nadal is a GOAT, but it's pathetic how all these young guns always lose to him in majors. Must be humiliating for them knowing that they have such a big advantage, yet they have no chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we had Cam on the courts, you said Zverev was serving for the set, and I think you mumbled something. You were teaching your lesson. You're like, "Thank good luck with that." You know, I don't think you were ever dissuaded by him having 4 set points. I think
I 6'2". I thought Nadal still had a chance.
Now, back to the Amelie Mauresmo thing. Why did I bring that up? Amelie Mauresmo, correct me if I'm wrong, is the tournament director of Roland Garros. Is that correct?
Okay.
Is she the tournament director of Roland Garros?
I'm not quite sure.
Anyway, maybe so, maybe not. But Amelie Mauresmo indicated to a media outlet that, quote, men's tennis is more appealing than women's tennis.
I agree.
I understand that. At the same point in time, well, I would disagree with that, by the way, because I'm more interested in Swiatek and her record than I'm watching Nadal do it for the 14th time.
But you have to be real. The semifinals was stupid and boring. Trevisan against Goff, Pegula against Swiatek. That was not interesting. I mean, not that Chilik and Ruud was better.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say.
But Nadal and Zverev was better. I mean, Felix Nadal was good. Nadal Djokovic was good. Rune and Ruud was good.
Yeah.
What women's match you can say was good? Kasatkina, Kudermetova? That was not good.
Dreamt Tennis just left a simple comment that reminded me of something my dad sent me last night. So Dreamt Tennis says, why don't we see those tantrums on the WTA? My dad wrote something here last night. Maybe I always text him so much, but anyway, keep taking comments, but I want to find something that, here we go. I got it.
That was okay.
I got it. Last night, my dad sends me this, and here it is. Okay, show it to you. All right. Here's what he wrote. Quote, French Open director apologizes for saying men's tennis is more appealing than women's. Okay. Well, he says, there's an excuse me, let me start over. Well, there's an age-old controversy about aesthetics. Aesthetics meaning, are they pleasing to watch? You know, if something is aesthetically pleasing, it's like Federer hitting his one-handed backhand. It's pleasing to watch, right? It's graceful. Okay. So let me start over. Well, there's an age-old controversy about aesthetics. Are there any constants or standards throughout the universe, or is everything just a matter of personal choice? Some old tennis fans, for example, would argue that although tennis will always be a great sport, it is overall becoming an uglier sport, and the snorting, grimacing, howling, and shrieking prevalent in the women's game hasn't helped a lot. Okay. Trevisan, Schiavone, Allison Risk, all of them hideous to watch because of it. Hideous. And
I understood why Marisma said it.
I don't though. She should have. Okay, if you're in that type of position, okay, let's look at our positions real quick. Okay, Carla, you and I.
You forget that Marisma.
You're missing the point. You're missing the point of professionalism.
Marisma probably would not be more for women, more for the guys.
Oh, so now you're going to get sexual orientation.
She was, and then she changed. I could see why it came out of her. I mean, she was bullied in the WTA tour because she was manly.
I can't. I have to. You can say that because you're a girl. I have to be careful with that.
I understand why she said it, and the reality is that the women's tennis, the French Open. I mean, we've seen who can win and who can lose. It's like a flip the coin. I mean, it's not steady. It's not. It's just not.
Okay. Let's look at this a little bit more objectively, a little bit deeper from the sense of a tournament director's responsibilities.
Yeah, and then she apologized.
Either way, here's what happens. Have you ever heard of don't shoot from the hip? Like don't shoot from the hip?
You've shot from the hip too.
I get it. And what happens every time?
You get burned for it.
I get burned for it. Okay. I still try to work on not shooting from the hip so much, but sometimes because I really speak the truth. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm a horrible liar, so I just tell people the truth. And sometimes they hate me for it, whatever. But as a tournament director, okay, you have to be damn careful what you say. Sometimes it's better to keep your mouth shut. Meaning, there's never. I'm going to leave Marismo this. Never, Amelie Marismo, pass up an opportunity to keep your mouth shut. Repeat, never pass up an opportunity to keep your mouth shut. Carla just mentioned it. You're already.
Well, I understand what she said. Yeah,
careful.
I'm not saying that she should have said it.
Okay. Now, furthermore, as a tournament director, now forget about her being a tournament director. We are tournament directors. We run a club, the tennis side of a beautiful club. What would happen, Carla, if you and I walked over to someone over at the swimming pool and said, hey, swimming pool sucks. Tennis is better, or vice versa. Hey, tennis sucks. It would be awful. There's a line being drawn in the sand, and ultimately someone is not going to prevail. And furthermore, there's going to be a debate that has never subsided since time immemorial. We've been talking about gender inequalities for thousands of years. Didn't the Mayans used to cut the heads off of freaking certain infants and babies based upon sex? I don't know. You're from South America. You enlighten me on the Mayans.
Anyway,
you're from Honduras. Nathan is there. He's Honduran. You're Honduran. You were born in Brooklyn. I get it. But you're Honduran, and a damn strong one. And a shout out to Honduras for producing a specimen like her, because she's a damn beast. Let's go, Honduras.
Well,
let's go.
I think if you're in that type of position, I wouldn't say it. I would think it. I just want to say it. I mean, Alex Villar has a great point. Remember, the less you say, the less you have to explain yourself. William Spencer says, Marismo getting hung out dry for stating reality. Men's tennis is higher level and watch more. Tennis is a business.
Yeah.
It brings in more views, more money.
Yeah.
True. She should have kept her mouth shut. But I do agree with her at this point right now. And this women's tennis is a little bit weak, I would say. A lot of weak women out there in the mind. No confidence to win. A lot of them are distracted. I hope to see some young guns. I hope Coco Gauff can win. That would help. I feel like that would help women's tennis. I think if Coco Gauff wins the French Open, it will help a lot of young ladies to believe in themselves. American, African American,
Anybody.
anybody of darker color, it would help. Anybody of 18 years
Indian,
old would
Pakistan.
help. It would be like,
wherever.
damn, I can do that. I can do that. You know,
Let's
it would
go.
be very inspiring to see
go.
Coco
Yeah.
Gauff win instead of Schweitzer.
What about Nigeria? What about Ethiopia?
I'm
What about
saying.
Kenya? What about Ivory Coast? What about
I think
Ghana?
it would be an excellent thing if
Go,
she won,
man.
and I hope she does.
Come on, let's root for the underdog. Let's get it done. Now, muchos gracias for Swiatek being a beast. Now, can I ask all of you a question and answer it honestly in comments? Seriously. I'll name 5 players, and I'm pulling these from the hip. Okay. Where does Swiatek rank within these players? Let me pull some up. I'll throw Serena Williams out there. I'll throw Steffi Graf,
Not even close.
Martina Navratilova,
No,
Justine Henin.
wrong group.
Henin.
No, wrong group.
Let's bring.
She's in the wrong group. She won 1 Grand Slam. She's not even in Kleister's group. She's not even in Capriati's group.
I would disagree with you there. No.
How many
Capriati's not great. To
how
me.
many Grand
No,
Slams
no,
did
no.
Capriati win?
It doesn't
How
matter.
many?
She wasn't great. She was.
Are
Capriati
you
wasn't
serious?
great.
She won 3.
She wasn't great.
I disagree
I
with
don't
you.
care. So Swiatek's about to have 2, and you're not going to put her in the same group.
Not yet.
How can you not put Jennifer?
Sharapova is better than Swiatek.
I got dumber with that.
Sharapova, you got dumber.
I got dumber.
Count the slams, Justin.
Sharapova sounds like the Easter Bunny.
But
That
she's
just got a tail
better
chopped
than
off.
Swiatek. She's better
I don't
than
think so.
Swiatek.
I don't think so.
She's won more slams.
Whoa. Did not Shara Screeching Pova have a huge double fault problem at one point in time? Wasn't Sharapova on the similar trajectory as a tennis player as Zverev, but Zverev hasn't won a major yet? Sharapova was a shrieking nightmare. I would rather be in class as a 44-year-old
You
man
like
with 5 kids.
Sabalenka? You like
I used to
Sabalenka?
just mess with you with that though.
Justin.
I used to just
Yeah,
mess
she
with
has
you.
a shooting problem, but she won many slams. Let's not forget the first Wimbledon she won. She destroyed
Who?
Serena, made Serena cry.
Who?
Enough for Serena to say, "What a bitch."
Who?
Sharapova.
Oh,
Come
okay,
on, man.
okay, but it
You
was
can't take that away from her.
you used to call me Sharapova. Remember?
I don't wanna
No,
be-
now you so
I
now,
don't wanna
now
be-
you got now you
Yeah,
got
but because you wanna be-
Then
but
you
Eagles
feel
won
bad,
one.
right?
Iga is in the category of Meskina, who won 1, Bartoli, who won 1, and many of Gabriela Sabatini, who won 1, and many others that just won 1.
You're telling me Swiatek is comparing to Marian Bartoli?
She won 1.
Oh
She's
my
got 1
God.
Grand Slam.
Does anyone agree?
Stozer.
Does anyone agree?
Yes.
What? Are you serious? Stozier got lucky.
Stozer should have won the French Open. She would have had 2.
Are you?
Shut it up.
Where is Stozier now?
Ostapenko. Where will
Oh my
Swiatek
God.
be in 5 years? Where will Swiatek be in 1 year?
I think she'll have 6 or 7 majors. Not 1 year, but a few years. She'll get 6 or 7
6
majors.
or 7.
Who's gonna contest
Okay,
her?
guys.
She's won
Hold
32 matches in a row. Who's gonna beat her, Carla?
I'm gonna.
No one can beat her right
Justin,
now. She's
wait a
won
minute.
32 matches in a
Let
row.
me text this
She's
to
just all of a
myself.
sudden gonna start losing. I'm getting dumber here.
Wait.
That's like saying Casper Ruud's gonna beat Nadal. He could. I called the final, but I doubt it. But come on, man. Swiatek, I get it's not the biggest era, but she's the best in the world.
Justin says on June 3rd, 2022, that Swiatek will win 6 or 7 slams.
Okay, I'll take that.
Sending that
I'll
to
take that.
myself.
Justin says on June 3rd.
That's saved on my phone, baby.
Swiatek will win 6 or 7 slams.
Okay.
Saved.
Now imagine waking up every morning hearing that damn thing.
I'm gonna freaking play it. 7 years from now, I'm gonna play that shit. I'm gonna be like, play. Do you remember that bullshit?
Yeah, I remember.
All right.
She'll win 6.
Yeah.
If she doesn't get
Yeah.
hurt. If she doesn't get hurt.
Yeah.
If she doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, right.
She doesn't get hurt.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yep.
if you are Roland
But
Garros.
I'm not gonna lose the recording. I'm gonna send it to my email on top of that.
Now, by the way, if, and I say if, you are Roland Garros. In other words, it's not one person that owns it. It's a board of directors. We deal with that.
Vika is better than her.
Who?
Won 3 slams.
You're telling me the squealing pig, Azarenka,
That
is
is your-
better than her?
You don't like the squealing pigs on the court,
What is
right?
wrong with you people? Are you
Just because
are you serious?
Azarenka is better than Swiatek because she's won 3 slams.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting dumber. We cannot forget that Swiatek has already won 1 and she's back in the final, which she's surely gonna win.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if she doesn't, then great for golf, but she's still in another final.
Uh-huh.
You're comparing apples to oranges, Carla.
No.
Apple, orange, it's not the same thing.
No.
You can't compare it the apple to the orange.
Wait. Here's another.
Oh, man, this is brutal.
Kansu says that Swiatek is going to win 10 slams on June 3rd, 2022.
You got mad recordings here. Let's go. Come on.
Woo!
Hey, and by the way,
Kvitova is better. Exactly.
okay, I can't argue that one. That's a good one.
Don't beat yourself up. He didn't like them squealing, but I'm sure when he was a young guy, he liked them squealing. Just saying.
What kind of crap is that? That was like adult. That was like, damn. You know,
Yeah, I'm just saying. Oh, she squeals. She's a 3-time Grand Slam champion.
that kind of. Okay, look.
Sharapova is won how many? 5? And you're telling me Swiatek's better than her?
Yes, that's what I am telling you.
Come on.
I am telling you that. Okay? Swiatek's better than Sharapova, or will be at the end of the day, unless she gets injured. Okay?
That's hilarious.
If you are the board of directors at the French Open, if you're the board of directors, and think about this objectively from a business standpoint, and you know, we have fun and we coach and whatever.
Kerber's better than Swiatek.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know. She's won 3 slams. Yeah.
Kerber can't even stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
She's close to retirement. She has yet to. She's won 1 slam, baby.
Who? Swiatek's close to retirement?
No, Kerber.
Oh, yeah. So, now let me finish it because I've been trying to say this for 27 minutes. If you are the board of directors at Roland Garros, which we call the French Open, whatever, and you have the director of the tournament, and that director comes out and shoots from the hip without thinking and says men's tennis is better than women's tennis, blah, blah, blah.
I get it.
Let me finish. Based upon what she has been through from a sense of what she talked about. I'll leave it at that. How can you represent global society?
I agree with
How can you represent global society, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, by having a biased statement like that? Now, it's not a big deal if you're just John Doe, or if you're a lines judge, or if you're the chair umpire, and there's no mixed doubles or singles going on. You just called out half of the people that you represent.
I mean, I agree with you.
She will lose her tennis director job, and I hate it that she spoke so soon, but she will lose it. If not, Roland Garros is an idiot.
She's not going to lose it.
Okay, let me go into work one morning.
She's not going to. If we see people getting drunk here that are freaking, then she's not going to lose her job.
Okay.
We've seen presidents do stupid shit
We're talking
and not get fired. She's not going to get fired, Justin. She's a woman.
All right, let's do a role play. Let's role play this. Okay.
If she has said something racist, then I think.
Okay,
she
Carla, let's
would.
role play. Let's role play this one.
Yeah.
We'll move to the next topic. Okay, you're at the club and you're out teaching a lesson. Okay, and you just hired me as an assistant pro. Okay, so I'm coming out there. You're meeting me, right? And you have 3. Follow me on this one because you're not thinking. So now you're out there and you got a clinic going. You got 3 boys and 3 girls.
I agree.
Can I finish? You got 3 boys and 3 girls. I'm the assistant pro, and I come walking out there to meet me because you just hired me by phone. You didn't interview me. You're like, yeah, come on, I can use you. I come up and I interrupt your clinic with 3 boys and 3 girls, and I say, hey, by the way, you 3 little girls, get lost because you suck. Get the hell out of here. Boys only, get lost. Roland Garros has been around. It's the oldest major on the planet.
Justin, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I agree. She should have kept her mouth shut.
What you talking about, Willis?
Just like you talk about the women squealing, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't say that in front of them, would you?
No. Exactly, but she did say it in front of them. She did do it.
You wouldn't say that in front of them. Just saying. Yeah.
Hey, has anybody ever heard of a player called Raducanu? Who?
See, like what I'm saying?
Who?
She's French, right? She won't lose her job.
Raducanu?
Thank you, Eleanor. I mean, if the president of the United States can say, I did not perform, blah, 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 and keep his job,
yeah,
she can definitely keep her job.
Okay.
Just saying.
Speaking of Coco Golf, though, I read a couple articles today that indicated that Coco Golf and Iga Swiatek could be one of the new biggest rivalries in tennis. Okay. Now, why did I write this down? This was supposed to be topic number 1, and here we are, an hour and 20 minutes in, and I'm just getting into it.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Now, how many times since the next gen cheesiness have we heard that Zverev and TM, it's going to be the next rivalry? Rublev and Kachanov, next rivalry. Here it goes, and Tiafo, next rivalry. We heard it. It was a beat dead horse. We're like, okay, now you're still talking about Tsitsipas and Zverev. Where's Tsitsipas? He's at home. Where's Zverev? He's in a wheelchair. Damn, and neither one of them has won a major. Okay, so now you hear that Swiatek and Coco Gauff is the next heated rivalry. Do you agree or disagree with this, given that every time we hear this is another media propaganda bullshit fest of getting people to watch these people because tennis is in need of having viewers? Do you think this is a time where that rivalry could actually be true?
I disagree. I think any rivalry could happen at this point in women's tennis. Just saying.
That's your take on it? I'm going to disagree with you.
I don't think that'll be a rivalry.
Disagree with you.
There's Anisimova, who's very young still.
She could be in the mix. She could be part of the big 3 or 4.
If she gets healthy.
If she can stay healthy, yeah.
I mean, there's so many girls that are coming up. I like Muhova. Someone mentioned her.
Muhova, yeah. Another good player.
She could get her head straight. She definitely could be a competitor.
Do you know why Muhova, I think, is, or Mukova, I think is the proper, I don't know. And you can put in comments, is it Muhova or Mukova? So maybe you can break it down like the dictionary. But Muhova or Mukova is very simple, the way she looks. And see, females, and I hate to say this, I have 5 kids, and a couple of those are daughters. Females are very self-conscious about the way they look. Like Carla goes out to court, she has to match. She has to wear shoes that match her shirt. I'm like, just give me some shit and let me get the hell out to the court. It's different. Girls are self-conscious. They have esteem issues. It's just the way they roll. Believe me, in certain times of the month, it's really bad. But Muhova is very simple. She doesn't come out on the court with all this makeup on, the best, looking outfit. She just goes out and plays the game. Now, I've always said that Carla reminded me of Daria Kasatkina. Why have I said that Carla is a spitting image, at least in terms of the way they approach tennis? Not in looks, obviously. Kasatkina is white. She's Spanish. There's a big difference appearance-wise. But Kasatkina and Muhova are very much like Carla. And why is that? They don't look alike. They're from totally different parts of the planet. They approach tennis the same. And so does your brother, Jonathan. And so does your dad. They're all very humble people, and they don't have to go out to the court with all the latest shit, the latest rackets. Nathan comes out with an old-ass Pro Staff 85 or whatever. Your brother comes out with a pair of old-ass Jordans on and a Blade 98, and you go out to the court with some Jordan 1s on and just get grinding in the game. You don't give a shit with, you don't go out there with all this stuff. And Muhova and I just slipped my mind. Anyway, I just said her name. They approach the game the same way. Very simple, right? They're not trying to show off for the Joneses. They're just coming out to try to beat you. And that's why I like them a lot. And that's why Kasatkina is very much like
but Kasatkina
Carla.
unfortunately sucks.
She doesn't suck. She just made the quarterfinals. She lost
I know,
in the
but
quarterfinals.
she's so inconsistent. Like, we don't hear about her in a year.
Well, she needs to go talk to Marismo. LOL.
All right.
Not really. Yeah, Rafael Nadal made a slight tease of retirement. Take it with a grain of salt, but Rafael Nadal was doing like a post-match interview, and then you guys can put in comments exactly how it went down. And I caught this basically walking by the TV. We had the TV on in the pro shop, and I was walking by, and he was doing his press conference, and I kind of dipped out. And I heard him say something to the press about, I don't know how many more years, or if there will be many more years playing the French Open. Anyway, my question is this. How many more years will Rafa Nadal show up at Roland Garros to play? And if he wins this Roland Garros, which surely he will, unless Casper Ruud plays the match of his life, is there a chance that Rafa wins this tournament and retires?
I don't think so.
Is there a chance he walks off?
No.
We hear about walk-offs in football. I win the Super Bowl, I'm gone. Walk-off home run in baseball in the bottom of the 10th inning, and it's game over. I'm walking off. Jordan, game 6, 3-peat, took a break, 3-peat again.
Did you hear LeBron is the first billionaire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
LeBron James, billionaire. Yeah, I mean, Jordan's a billionaire, but he didn't get it just off of playing basketball. Jordan got to the billionaire status with shoes and the brand and so forth, even though Jordan is a microcosm of Nike. Okay, let me make sure I covered everything and we're out.
Thank you. It's late.
Yeah.
It's time to stop.
Shout outs again, Sandra Stankovic. Thank you very much. The first of messages today after the Zverev injury. Wild Live 1 as well. Wild Live 1, been around since day one. What's up? B-Doggo2 out there. What's up? Mike Walker. Love you, man, a lot. Send us your info. We'll get that right to you. You paid me before. I'm definitely paying you. As any bet that we take, we're going to pay our dues for sure. All you got is your balls and your word. Fuck what you heard. Okay, so also, Amelie Marismo gets a thumbs down for being a tournament director of the oldest major and the entire major circuit. French Open was the first by time. And for her to say that, you know, women's tennis sucks, basically, I hate to say it. She's rich enough to lose her job and not worry about it, but she shouldn't be the director of that tournament because that's not how the French Open operates. She just shot from the hip. Never pass up an opportunity to keep your mouth shut because you damn spoke wrong. She will not direct that tournament next year, I can assure you, or Roland Garros committee and board is dumb because you'll lose a lot of viewers because of it. And she has a little, you know, some personal stuff we won't get into that's kind of rocky in there that will justify that comment, which makes it now bigger than just a comment. Carla said it best. I'm not going there. I could care less, but people do. Thank you to my dad, by the way, for the Justine Henin and Roger Federer posters. I'll put the Roger Federer one up there. Tomorrow I had to have one to have Gabriella read. We wrote that in there, so hopefully Gabriella read it well. What's up to Gabby and my 6-year-old? Let's go. Thanks to all of you. Our box, you know, if not for you, we don't do this. So much love to all you guys. I think that's about it. And ending, don't get pissed off. At least try not to get too pissed off because you might get hurt doing it. Ask Zverev. Ask myself. I'm an expert at it. Casper Ruud, in my opinion, has absolutely zero shot of beating Rafael Nadal. However, I did call the final, and he does have a chance. But the only chance that Ruud is going to have is for Rafael Nadal to come off the court like Zverev did. No disrespect. Okay. My only thoughts on the Casper Ruud versus Cilic match was boring. I get bored just writing it. Okay.
Our dogs and our kids are going.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's it. We're out.
Bye-bye.